miraculous thing happen. But Daniel Jones is the man right now. So what are we going to be expecting from him? I'm not going to put any high expectations on him right now because, once again, he's a rookie quarterback. Once again, he doesn't have as much experience as maybe some of the other quarterbacks that came out in the draft, but they are still backups. He even has more experience than Kyler Murray, and he has less experience than Dwayne Haskins, but that's a different situation as far as like what their quarterback situation is in Washington. So all I'm going to say, really about, Daniel Jones is that hopefully this kid can go out there, he can perform, because if he does not perform, we already know Giants fans and the New York media are going to destroy this guy, which is not going to help out the cause for himself or for the team or for the organization. So I hope that he can just hand the ball off to Saquon, make it easy. Do not try and overdo it. You got guys like Evan Ingram. Then you're going to have guys coming back like Sterling Shepard. You're going to have Golden Tate back after 2 more games from his suspension. So you will have some young pieces in there mixed with veterans. Your line play and your defense, that's also going to be a question mark. So you get that had nothing to do with Daniel Jones. But on the offensive side, it's just don't try and do too much. Give what the defense gives you. Take what the defense gives you. You got a guy in Saquon Barkley that should make life easier for you. That all the pressure is not put upon you to perform. And I think, fans, they will probably give him a little bit, of leeway, because I think most people do not want to go back to Eli. They've been there. They've been in that situation before. Didn't like it. And we might just be surprised, is all I'm saying, is that maybe the guy can play. But there's only one way to find out, and we're going to find that out coming up this week, in week 3, that they're going to be taking on someone, and I don't even know who the Giants play. I want to say it's the Buffalo Bills, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong. But they will definitely have eyes on them, at least this week, for everyone watching in the football community. So you listen to the Wait a Minute Show with your man, Jelani J.B. Bodie, and we are talking sports, and we are talking football, NFL specifically. And now, we talked about Eli being benched. We talked about Daniel Jones taking over. Now what happens here for Eli? What could it be? He doesn't. He has a no trade clause, so they can't trade him. Only if he, excuses the no trade clause. And we know if he did something like that, he's going to want to go to a certain team. But I honestly do think that Eli's going to stay on the Giants team for this entire year. I think he knows what it would mean to Daniel Jones. I think he knows he still wants to play. I think he knows he could go to another team, and it's just not good. Or it's not the best situation for him to go to another team right now anyway. Where could he go really to have the opportunity of success? And I don't think he really wants to go to Jacksonville, because we know Nick Foles is going to be back at some point, and he doesn't want to deal with that situation that Carson Wentz went through. So I don't think Jacksonville was someone that was rumored earlier, obviously, because Tom Coughlin, was there, but that was before they got Nick Foles, at this point. So there are some other teams, maybe, Tennessee, and we'll talk about Tennessee a little bit later on in the show. Marcus Mariota is not, changing the minds of the coaching staff at this point. But again, the season is going on, and there's some other teams out there maybe you could think of, but not one where Eli probably could just come in right away and then, make a difference. I think he will have to come in for a training camp and find the team with the right nucleus, find them with, right scheme and all that stuff. So I don't think Eli's going to go anywhere. I think he's going to stay right here and not do anything. All right. So that is, my little piece on the whole Eli and the Giants and Daniel Jones and all that stuff. So in the Wait a Minute Show chat room, there are some things. And actually, there was something that I was supposed to talk about. And I guess I'll get into it right now before I start talking about Jalen Ramsey. But Mo Cheese and Marcus was in the Wait a Minute Show chat room talking about fantasy football. Marcus is a little perturbed at me because I did not invite him into the fantasy football league. And some other people have hit me up. I am sorry, about that. I just thought, maybe, with Marcus, okay, I'll go ahead and tell the secret. Marcus is wealthy, and I just didn't think he wanted to be, wasting his time with a bunch of commoners, such as myself. So I just said, hey, I'll just move on and I'll stay in my lane. But I guess I was wrong. So him and Mo Cheese is talking in the Wait a Minute Show chat room. Basically, Mo Cheese think he played Marcus. No, Mo Cheese, you did not play Marcus. You played Michael. Goodness, get the M's together. Marcus, Michael, Marcus. Marcus, Michael, Mo. Too many M's going on. So I'm just going to fix this right now while we're on the show. Mo Cheese, you played Michael, not Marcus. Michael, not Marcus, Michael. So, and, he's excited because, he won by 1 point and he got a little win and all that stuff. So we'll give it to him. But speaking of the Wait a Minute Show chat, the Wait a Minute Show, the fantasy league is in full bloom effect. Week 2 went down. I'm going to go ahead, lay a little, diss track, if you will, is that, hey, the microwave, aka Fish, you always talk about, how he all this and that in fantasy football and, blah, 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 blah. Well, your boy came in there and beat that head in, so, I got my first win. I told you I had a tough challenge ahead of me, and I went in there, took care of business, and now I'm on to week 3, like Bill Belichick would say. Now I'm on to the Dolphins. So I'm looking for Mocha Bella out there to take down her team too. But the Wait a Minute Show fantasy football league is in full effect, man. The reigning champ, Rail Scott, he lost for the first time this week to Reggie, Dollars and Cents. Who else got beat? Who do you think you are? He got beat by the Swagarians. So that was Randall. He beat Derek and DMV EE. That's my man E Double. He's out there just beating people's heads in, and he should be ashamed of himself for doing stuff like that. But that's what's going on in the fantasy football league, and I'll continue to give you updates about that. So when week 3 come up, I'll tell you who got their head beat in. Hopefully, I'll be telling you, hey, Mocha Bella, got served once again for her team, and your boy will be 2-1. So we'll get back to that, later. But let's touch base on Jalen Ramsey. So Jalen Ramsey, we've gotten to the point that we knew we were going to get to. I mean, it was inevitable that it was going to happen. And he has requested a trade. He wants off of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's talked about how he just wants to win. He just wants to win. And, they played the video where he was on the sideline where him and Doug Marrone got into it. And we've seen it before. Players on the sideline, they're upset. Their voice, what's going on with them, their displeasure. And we all look at it and make, a judgment as far as what they're going to do with the team. But at this point, Jalen said, get me out of here and trade me and I'll be, done. Now, I do think that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to trade him because I didn't think they were going to. I thought they might trade him later in the year. But with all this situation going on that went on in the past week, then yes, they're going to go ahead and push that up. I think Tom Coughlin's going to be like, I've had enough. I'm going to go ahead and get him out of here sooner than later because I think they were going to trade him anyway. Jalen showed up to training camp, and I brought this up. He showed up with HaHa Davis in a Brinks truck, basically letting people know, look, you're going to have to pay me. and the Jacksonville Jaguars were not willing to pay him. So this all just got ratcheted up. So I think now some of the rumors are that, he'll be traded after tomorrow night's game when they play the Titans. And that could be, the case. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But here's the thing, with Jalen Ramsey. He's a very passionate person, and just the way that he sometimes voices his passion or his aggression or his anger, it's not always in the best way, and it's not always in his benefit, if you will. You got to let your agent handle stuff like that. I do get what he's saying, and I think this all started back from that AFC Championship game where after halftime, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they changed their whole strategy and they tried to play safe against the New England Patriots in New England. They had them on the ropes. They did not put their foot on their throat like you have to do with a team like New England. And then they started playing safe. And then by the time they looked around, they were in trouble. And I just think from there on out, Jalen, his view of the team changed. His view of what was going on there changed. Not to mention they followed up with a horrible year where they were cocky and they felt that they were just going to be the same team that they were the year before. And it did not happen. So, and it's time for a change. It's time for him to move on somewhere else. And then it's time for the Jacksonville Jaguars to get what they can and move on. Now, the rumor was that Jacksonville was asking for 2 first-round picks. You can miss me with that, and I'm sure the rest of the league is telling them that too. You can kick rocks. We're not going to give you that. Now, you probably could get a first-round pick, and then maybe an additional pick somewhere later on in the draft, but you're not getting 2 first-round picks. That first round could be a second, just depending on how desperate that the Jacksonville Jaguars get, because the longer he's there, the more problems or the more questions that's going to be, asked of this team. And they still don't look like they are, all together. Obviously, part of that is because Nick Foles is not there. And you got a rookie quarterback that is trying to do the best that he can do with that team, which he had a decent game, substituting in under short notice. But Jalen Ramsey himself, I think it was someone said it in the Wait a Minute Show chat room. He just wants to be on the winning team. And that's the only way that he's going to not say something. Now, I'm not saying that he won't have any outbursts, because he is just a vocal person just to begin with. But losing and not getting any money or not, even being talked to about getting an extension, it's not going to be, on the good side of Jalen Ramsey. And he's just already know he's out of there. He's already made up his mind what's going to happen, So it is what it is. But he will be on another team sooner than later. Let's just say that. And the next thing we're going to say was we're going to take a break. And then when we come back from the break, I want to get on this Thursday night football that's coming up tomorrow, which will be Jags versus Titans. So Jalen Ramsey will be mixed in with that. But also, there is a law or bill that is trying to be put into the state of New York regarding college athletes. If you haven't heard about this, you definitely want to hear about it. We'll talk about that and more. It's the Wait a Minute Show. We'll be back after these words.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Vince Wright, the sports governor, and you know me from the Sports Done Right show. But when I'm not doing Sports Done Right, I'm in the executive mansion chilling with the Wait a Minute Show. That's right, Jelani Lopan. Indeed. Keep it tuned here, y'all. The Wait a Minute Show. My name is Vince Wright, and I approve this message.
Attention, all sports fans. If you're someone who wakes up each morning with lists of sporting events to go along with your to-do list for the day, then you just might be a diehard. The world of sports is as vast as the ocean is deep, including the major leagues, the minor leagues, the college, and everything in between. This is me, your brother Larry B of IE Sports Radio, welcoming you to join me every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on The Defining Moment, a show that focuses on what really matters in the sports world, sports themselves, and nothing outside of them. Once again, tune in for The Defining Moment with me, your boy Larry B, every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on IE Sports Radio, right here on Spreaker.com. We'll see you then.